over the 90 minutes, couldn't convert them. And that victory for Spurs, I mentioned before, just puts them 1 point now behind Arsenal. It's quite the run they've put together. Overall, you know, you look at this game, a draw could have been fair considering the opportunities Bournemouth had, but Spurs obviously take the win.
Well, Bournemouth, I think there was 4 straight wins coming in. They're a good little side, and Solanke up front is a handful and had quite a few chances. But ultimately, this is far from Tottenham's best performance. But you know, 3 points for them. And as Postecoglou reminded the reporter after the game when he said he was 1 point off Arsenal, he said, yeah, well, 3 points off the top. And when you think they are where they are and people seem to get upset when you talk about the injuries and that Tottenham have had. But I think they have had it as bad, probably them in Newcastle. Mm-hmm. Now, some of it is self-inflicted with their discipline problems, mm-hmm, and the manager has noted that. But when you think about, you know, 1 point behind Arsenal and where they are in the league, with the problems they've had, with selling Harry Kane, with a new manager coming in, and with basically at times, you know, again there with 4 full-backs playing across the back 4, I think it's an amazing job thus far.
The thing is, as well, and Postecoglou in his conferences keeps saying that they're building things, they're building something here. You know, roll the clock back a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, when these injuries are really taking hold. And Spurs continue to play this, what at times felt like suicidal, high back line. And he just kept saying, this is who we are, this is what we're building. And now all of a sudden, Spurs have an identity. And even with those injuries, some of them coming back, but you know who Spurs are. They know who they are, most importantly, and they're getting results. And now all of a sudden, because they have an identity, and it's something we can't say about a lot of clubs in this league, they are playing to their strengths and getting results.
We might talk about how the game was. We might say how we were not really impressed with the way Tottenham Hotspur's actually approached the game, but we have to put some respect on this team. This team, like what these guys are talking about, the injuries that Tottenham Hotspurs and Newcastle is one of those, the injuries that they've suffocated these teams. You actually feel sorry for them because it's too much. It's really too much. But at the same time, you see that Anche has never changed on his word. He talked about that. His style of playing football is a high line, and he's going to always do that. Since the day he came and introduced this type of football to this team, up to today, he has never changed on his morals. And that's one thing that you have to respect. And I'm actually hoping that could be something that is taught to Erik ten Hag. Because when you think about it, this guy came in playing that ball control position from Ajax, and he came in to change. He started playing a different football that we've never even noticed. And this is the guy who's supposed to change Manchester United. You can see in terms of mentality the difference between Erik ten Hag and Postecoglou, because the other one is playing football in survival mode, while the other one is building what we call a culture, which a culture this team can grow on to be and understand going forward. They are playing exciting football, whether they don't have their defense, whether they don't even have their front men. Tottenham Hotspurs will still be Tottenham Hotspurs because they never change on their morals. They're never going to change the type of football that they play, the way they approach the game. They keep playing it the same, and it is paying back at the end of the day. And I have to say, for a change, I have to put some respect on Postecoglou. I have to put some respect on Spurs, because the way they're doing it, it shows that they are a team that understand what they really want to achieve. And I'm really proud of them. And also, like what Shaka Hislop is saying, they have an identity, and with that identity you can tell that they are going to go far, they are going to achieve more, and it's just exciting to see. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section as we continue with the video.
How impressed have you been with Postecoglou since he's come in, Kieran?
Oh yeah, really impressed. Really impressed. Shaka's right. They've got a foundation now. They've got a foundation. They've got an identity. They know who they are. And, you know, I don't worry about them long term this season. I don't think they've got enough to finish above Arsenal, first of all, but also challenge for the title. But really impressed. I mean, you have to give them credit after, you know, all of the setbacks that Spurs have had this season with ownership and the debacle with Harry Kane. Super impressed with him.
Meanwhile, of course, they're going to lose one of their key players for at least a month with the Asian Cup kicking off. Mark, with Son going with our friend Jurgen Klinsmann to represent South Korea.
Yeah, that's the big loss for Tottenham, isn't it? Because they have done so well without injured players. Madison's still out. Van der Ven has been a big loss. I mean, and Harry Kane as well has been gone all season. But Son has really kind of carried the team at times. He's been their inspiration. He works so hard. He scores the goals. He leads. And I think if you're missing Son, that is a massive blow. So I do worry for Tottenham a little bit. I think they've done really well to maintain the situation they're in right now. But without their best player, that's going to be tough. But I'm looking at that fixture list. It's not the worst. United away could be anything, but it's not the worst fixture list. So they might just get by. But he is a big loss, and he's one of the best players in the Premier League, Son. So any team would miss him, and especially the way he's playing this season.
I'm actually one.
I would say to Kieran, never say never, my friend. Because one thing you have to understand, as much as you might try to look down on other teams, our friends, the football gods, are always watching. And it's weird for me to be saying this, but our friends, the football gods, are always watching, and they are 1 point behind us now. And just saying that Tottenham are not a threat, they'll never even be above us, no? We've seen crazier things already this season, and what makes you think that won't happen? If Arsenal lose their next game and Spurs win their next game, they're on top of us now. So I don't really agree with what he's saying, but you can tell that in the long run, Postecoglou is building one of the best things that we're going to be seeing there. But yes, this is not going to be easy, especially losing Son, who's going, of course, for the Asia Cup, alongside the likes of Salah and all the other ones who are living for the Africa Cup of Nations as well. Wataru Endo from my side. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to really try to work out his team with so many people he's losing. Because you have to understand, he's not only losing Son, he's also losing Besuma, one of the most pivotal players who has been for Tottenham Hotspur in that middle. And so many players are going to be going. So it's going to be exciting to see how he is going to try to juggle out and try to create something meaningful, because with so many players missing, it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting? And do you agree with Kieran actually saying that no way, there's no way these guys are never going to be on top of Arsenal, especially this season? Because we've already seen crazier things. So I'm just saying, what do you think, people? Let me know in the comment section as we continue the video.
Tottenham are one of the teams I'm intrigued with what they're going to do in January, if anything, and the summer. And I'll tell you why, for two reasons. One, the manager has proven at other clubs that he's able to go out and sort of pick players that are under the radar. He did it at Celtic and he's done it elsewhere. It's a different ball game in the Premier League. Have we got the Boston Strangler on the show tonight? Somebody keeps... It's Kieran. Somebody in my... But, and the other side of it is like, Van de Ven was under the radar, and in all fairness, Maddison's a good player. How many others were out there to take him?
Yeah.
Maddison. How many of the big teams were going to say, well, yeah, we'll take Maddison? So I think between the recruitment and maybe the knowledge of different markets for Postecoglou, which are going to be cheaper for Tottenham, and we know Daniel Levy will absolutely love that, then I'm intrigued if they're going to do anything in January, and whether it's going to be under the radar players and how that's going to take them forward. And I don't know how long it is to Van de Ven and others came back, but that will certainly be huge for them. And if these players do come back and they can get through this period where possibly Sar's away and Son's away, and they're still in a very good position, who knows? The top four could be there for them. But if they do start to falter and they continue with the injuries and the suspensions and the self-inflicted suspensions, then the top four is going to, I think, in the end, just be too much for them.
If you take a look...
That Craig is bringing out, because I'd actually left it out. I think we have to actually agree they are one of the most dangerous teams to play against Tottenham Hotspurs, because most of their players are not afraid to throw just the legs elsewhere. It's crazy because they have hurt so many players. Somehow they have actually gotten away with only 2 red cards. It's actually, this thing is 3 now. Was it 4? Not really sure. But it's weird because they are one of the most dangerous ones. So if they want to do something, I'm really impressed with what Postecoglou is doing. I'm really impressed with the project that he's building, the identity he has put into this team. But I'm also concerned over so many players who are actually self-inflicting themselves getting suspended, which is something you wouldn't be expecting from a team that is trying to do something. And I think maybe Kieran's situation could be true if they continue playing this dangerous game that they're playing, that they actually self-inflict the suspension. Then that is going to be the problem, especially with not knowing how long would Son spend that side in Asia, as well as with Senegal, as well as Besuma as well with Cameroon, if I'm not mistaken. So there are so many players who are going to be leaving this team, and there will be some misses that you feel that there are so many players that are missing this team. But I think the bigger one of them all is actually Son. What would they do without Heung-min Son? How are they going to be able to function? Because it seems like in terms of their attack, especially without Maddison in the team, has been going very, very well with Son as being the pivotal player who has been helping them to go forward. So it's going to be interesting to see how Postecoglou works on him. He has to actually work on his discipline, especially his team's discipline, so that they can at least try to survive and actually still be in the game, because it's going to be exciting to see. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section as we are about to hear what is about to happen as we find out the odds of the teams that will make it in the top four.
6-5, they are the outsiders when compared to the rest of those teams you expect to be in the top four. In fact, it's as it stands, Aston Villa, I suppose the big talking point there, Shaq.
Yeah, listen, it's really tough to call. From Spurs on up, 4 have to fit into that 5. I'm sticking with the 4 that I chose. I think Spurs just miss out, but...
Can you remember the 4 that you chose?
Yeah, the top 4.
I'm sure you would have had Newcastle in your top 4.
We're talking a week or 2 ago.
Yesterday.
I left them out a long time ago. No, I left Newcastle a long time ago. I said...
We're talking about the start of the season here.
No, I can't.
No, it doesn't count. Mark, to Craig's point, will they do any business in January?
I don't think they'll do much. I think, again, Tottenham are one of these clubs that, I mean, we know that they don't tend to do a lot of business in January, but I just think that they haven't got the funds and they've got people coming back. That I think Daniel Levy will look at it and say, look, you've got 5 or 6 people coming back maybe end of January, beginning of February, don't know, after all load the squad. So
now that
we've got Roy Hodgson at the bottom, obviously.
Yeah, Roy's not going to... Roy's a bit long in the tooth for that.
Yeah.
I think... I don't think there's any doubt that Sean Dyche and Postecoglou are definitely up there. I mean, Eddie Howe's not really on the...
No, he's not.
Pep.
No.
Even Klopp, you know, he's
Klopp's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah, those teeth, you know, this...
What doesn't get in the way of his fists?
You know, this dentist in Liverpool, those big teeth. You know what I mean, so...
Mark, who are you throwing in there?
I think Vincent Kompany could handle himself. He's got a bit of...
Yeah, that's true.
Big centre-half.
Yeah.
I think Vinny Kompany might be able to handle himself.
Yeah, there's not too many
Arteta
others.
wouldn't get involved, would he, Kieran?
No, he doesn't like it. He only likes being on the floor. He only likes it on the floor.
So, what?
He's a grappler.
Oh, he's a grappler. That's your name.
Rob Edwards, though. Rob Edwards might have a shout.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could throw Rob Edwards in there. Oh, Shaka, there you are. Power rankings.
All right, okay.
Managers most likely to win a fight.
There's a few... Now that you come to think of it, there's a few weaklings, isn't there?
There's a few.
A few weaklings in there. Who else you got?
Gary O'Neill.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I don't fancy him. More.
I think the only important thing that we need to talk about when we're talking about Tottenham Spurs is how is the team going to do it in terms of transfers? How are they going to prepare the team so that they have something that can produce something going forward? Because if they don't really work that very, very well, then there will be some weaknesses in this team. There will be some, not only weaknesses, but noticeable weaknesses that will affect this team. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that one plays out. But I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting to see from this team, and what do you think will happen as we go forward? But it's going to be exciting how they work on it, as well as the transfers. Daniel Levy and Tottenham Hotspur are well known for not liking to spend so much, and Postecoglou has already shown that he can work with just a small budget. Can he get something like a small budget and actually create a winning team, a team with a mentality to actually achieve something with Tottenham Hotspur? That will be something that it will be interesting to actually look at from those eyes, to see exactly what is his mission, what exactly can they accomplish as a team, and what exactly can they do, because that's the only thing we can see. They've already proven that with the little they can achieve something, and with Son going, it's going to be interesting. How are they going to be the ones who steps up for this team to prove that they can do something? So at the end of the game today against Bournemouth, there was some weird fight that happened with the managers, and so at the end of that part, if you don't understand what those guys were talking about, they were trying to rank who are some of the strongest managers who can handle themselves in a fighter, and like we have been told, Mikel Arteta does not even fit in the cover of those managers who can do so. So it's just crazy world. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about my assessment, and where do you see Tottenham Hotspur actually go in terms of achievement or whatever they want to get at the end of the day? Transfer news, transfers will be coming very, very soon, people, as it looks like the transfer window is opened. Still quiet at the moment, no big news, still some small rumors. Van der Beek gone, that's the only thing that we can say is still standing at this moment. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Click the like button, subscribe to the connect, the best way you support us. We are out. Peace. Goodbye.